Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today I will be doing my reflection for the end of semester 2 for 2017. I've been doing these reflections for 2 years now, but if you don't know what they are, it's basically where I sit down at the end of a term or a semester and I talk about how it was for me and what I experienced and what I found hard and what I really enjoyed and just random things like that basically. Obviously while I was in school last year I did them for high school, but you guys wanted me to continue them into uni, so this is my second one for my first year of university. For those of you who don't know, I am in university studying psychology and I have officially finished my first year of university. I only have 3 years left to finish my bachelor and honours and then another 2 years on top of that if I want to do my masters. So I am going to be at uni for quite a while, but that's okay. We finished the first year. We made it through. Also, if I sound a little bit sick, it's because I am sick, so I'm sorry for that, but let's get started into the actual reflection. Semester 2 started back in July sometime, I'm pretty sure, and I started this semester a lot more confident and a lot more prepared than I did last semester. Obviously, last semester was my first semester ever at uni, so it was my first time being at uni ever, so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know how things worked, how to do assignments the way they wanted me to, and where classes were and how exams worked and just like everything like that. But this semester obviously I knew where a lot of my classrooms were. I still did get lost a little bit because my campus is so big. I also knew how to prepare for my classes a lot better than I did in semester 1, so I just felt a lot more comfortable and a lot less anxious overall starting this semester. I was also a lot more determined to do well academically this semester. Last semester obviously I wanted to, but there were a lot of things that happened last semester. You can watch that reflection to hear all about that. But this semester I kind of knew what I was doing, so I expected higher marks for myself, if that makes sense. If you want to know which classes I did this semester, I did a statistics class, like a psychology statistics class. I did a criminology class, a health class, and a communications class. The communications class and the statistics class were my like compulsory psychology classes, and the health and the criminology classes were my electives. I don't think I have electives next year, or I do, but I have to choose them from within the psychology elective list, whereas this year I could just choose anything. I didn't seriously love any of my subjects this semester, but I did really not love, like I really didn't enjoy statistics. I'm just really not good at maths, and maths just doesn't work well with my brain, and I have to try really hard to even do mediocre. I think it's like impossible for me to do well, and that's okay. I've accepted that and I've moved on, but it's still a little bit frustrating. I know I'm gonna have to do statistics for the rest of my bachelor anyway, so it's not like I can just get out of it anyway, so I need to learn to love it, and that's okay, and I'm gonna do that, but I just don't really enjoy it, and that was definitely my hardest class because I just didn't enjoy it and I find it very difficult to understand. I'm honestly just grateful that I passed that subject because I wasn't even sure if I would pass that subject because every single piece of assessment I like just scraped through. I am so incredibly thankful that I passed that subject and I don't have to redo it and pay for that class again, but I will definitely have to try a lot harder in my statistics classes in the future to make sure that I kind of keep on track with everything and keep up to date with things, because personally with statistics I definitely can't afford to fall behind. I'm just not good at it, so I need to just keep up and get as much help as I possibly can basically, and I recognize that, and it definitely took me making mistakes and like learning from this experience to understand that, so I'm glad I do understand that, and I hope that I can do better at it in the future. My communications class was the other compulsory class that I had, and it was just a bit like common sense, but it was just frustrating. Because it was common sense, it was hard to like sit through the lectures and the tutorials and things like that, because a lot of it was like, and body language helps with your communication, and I was like, why am I paying so much money to learn about this when this is kind of stuff that you should know? But at the same time, I guess it was good to refresh those things in my memory and relearn some of those things, and of course those things are all very helpful things to know, especially with psychology where I'll be interacting with a lot of people. So I guess it was useful, but it was also just a little bit frustrating because it just seemed really stupid. My health class I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was a really useful class to have, to be honest. It was like a recommended but not compulsory class, and it was basically a class where all the different health degrees came into one and you just did a class with a bunch of different people. So I was in a class with like physios and OTs and nurses and social workers and like, what else? Just like a bunch of different health profession degrees. And I found that really, really interesting because we were given a lot of like case studies and asked to kind of dissect them, pull them apart and understand them, and also talk about those certain situations and things from our perspective. So like from a psychology perspective, from a nursing perspective, from a physio perspective. So I thought that was really interesting, and it basically just taught us how the health system works in Australia and in some other countries as well, which is very useful information, especially because I like don't teach you those things in high school. It's just like expected knowledge. And it also taught you how to work with other health professionals, which I think is so incredibly important, because it's very rare that you'll ever just go to one doctor ever, or like one paramedic or one OT, and it's just good to know how to work with all of the different people and how your role impacts other roles and just things like that. So I found that very useful, and I think it was a very good class to have, but it wasn't overly difficult. It wasn't like easy peasy, but like it wasn't that bad, and I found it relatively easy to get like a good mark. I was like really close to getting a high distinction in that one, and I just missed out, which I don't even know how I missed out, because I was doing quite well during the semester, so I must have just messed up my last piece of assessment, so that really, really, really sucks, because I would have missed out by like 1 or 2%, but a distinction is not bad. It just kind of sucks a little bit. And my criminology class was interesting, but it was also a little bit not interesting as well. I thought my tutor was really, really good. I really enjoyed my tutor. My tutor was the lecturer for some of our topics, but we had another lecturer who I didn't enjoy as much. She was fine, it was all good, but yeah, I just really enjoyed my tutor, and I felt that she just taught really well, and she explained things really well, and she just like understood teenagers really well, if that makes sense. The assignment was like hard, but it wasn't really, really, really hard, if that makes sense. It wasn't like the easiest subject I've ever had. It wasn't as easy as the other ones that I had, but it wasn't like ridiculous, and it was like good knowledge to have. I think I will use some of that knowledge within my psychology degree. I'm sure I will be able to use some of it, but it didn't directly target my psychology degree. So it was a good elective to have, and I think it was a useful one to do, but yeah, it was fine. And I got a distinction in that one as well, and I also got a distinction in my communications class, which was kind of frustrating, but still really good. I'm so thankful that I got distinctions in 3 of my classes, but in all of them, I just missed out on a high distinction by a couple of %. So I really hope that next year I'll be able to get at least 1 high distinction, because I'm working as hard as I can. So we'll see how it goes. Overall, I definitely kept up with my classes a lot better than I did last semester. Like, I found it a lot easier to be prepared because I understood things a lot better. So I found classes easier this semester because I was more prepared than I was last semester, and I didn't get as stressed out as quickly or as much as I did last semester, I think. But because I was a lot more prepared and things like that, I worked a lot harder this semester than I did last semester. Like, I've never studied so hard, I've never worked so hard as I have other years in high school, in uni, in anything, as I have this semester. And it really did pay off. Like, in exam block, I was studying like 8 hours a day, and it was like insane, but it also really did pay off, and I'm glad that I did, and I don't regret doing that. But I've never done that before, so I'm glad that I have expanded and grown and improved. I also definitely realized this semester that psychology is really the degree for me, and I think it really is the career choice for me. I was really worried last semester and the beginning of this semester. I was like very unsure if psychology was for me, if I should transfer to another degree, but then I was like, I don't know what else I would do. I'm not that interested in anything else. I was just very stressed out about that because I just wasn't really sure. But this semester I had an experience where I was working with some kids, and I just saw how much I could help them if I had this degree, if I had the masters, if I had this qualification under my belt. My heart breaks for kids and teenagers and youth that don't have the best quality of life or don't know how to handle situations and have gone through traumatic experiences or through mental health issues and just don't know how to deal with it. And I'm so passionate about helping them, so I know that I am in the right place, which is so good. I'm so glad I feel that way, but I'm so glad that I also had that experience, which was heartbreaking, but I'm glad I had it because now I know that this is what I want to do, and I'm a lot more passionate and a lot more motivated to get this degree and work hard at it. So overall, my marks were a lot better than they were in semester 1. Like I said, I still really wish that I could have gotten at least 1 high distinction, and I'm really hoping that next year I can do better. But I also know that next year, being second year, it will be harder to get better marks because a lot of first year classes are very introductory, whereas second year classes are not. So I'm interested to see how that'll go. I'm hoping that it'll happen. I hope that I can get a high distinction at least. But I'm also really excited about next year because the classes are a lot more specific and a lot more psychology based rather than like introductory to psychology and introductory to statistics and introductory to all those different things, and not just giving me a base level knowledge but actually starting to go in depth of things. So I'm excited to see how next year goes. As for like non-uni related, I also moved home during the holidays between semesters. I can't really remember. I am really glad that I moved home, and it's really nice to be back with my family, and the location here is so much better. If you watched my like why I'm moving home video, I loved where I lived, but there were many reasons that I did really want to move home, and one of the biggest ones was the location. I was traveling like 45 minutes to get to work, half an hour to get to a lot of different places, and now I'm like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away from my work, from my church. I'm with my family, and I live a lot closer to Georgia, things like that. So it's really, really good in that aspect. But I definitely miss having my own place. I definitely miss the independence. I miss living close to Skye. I really miss that because we used to spend a lot of time together, and it's just a bit harder now. But living at home has given me the opportunity to redo my room, which I really loved, and that's like definitely a highlight of this semester. And to be able to save a lot more money, which is really fantastic, and to be able to reach some saving goals that I wanted to reach, and like that in itself is really exciting. Originally when I moved home, I thought I would be at home for about a year and a half, and then I thought I would be moving out again. I moved home in September, and I'm hoping that I'll be moving out within the next year. So originally I was going to be here for a lot longer, but I don't think I will be, but that's like good, it's positive, and I'm really excited to see where I move out next year and like how that all goes. But yeah, hopefully next year I'll be able to move out again, and I'm really excited to take you guys with me for that as well. But I definitely will give you guys a lot more information on like the moving out process when I have more of it planned, when I know what I'm doing, when I know where I'm going, things like that. But I'm excited, and you guys should be too. As for my faith, I just wanted to add this in here because I don't think I really talked about it in any of my other reflections, but I think it is something that I'll want to look back on. In April for my birthday, my boyfriend gave me a journaling Bible, which was during semester 1. But since then, I have read so much more of my Bible, and I've fallen in love with reading my Bible, and I just love it so much. If you're a visual person, honestly 10 out of 10 would recommend getting a journaling Bible because it's just so much fun. But I honestly have grown in my faith so much this year, like way more than I ever thought that I would. I don't know if I'll go into it in a separate video. If you guys want me to, I can. But yeah, I've just definitely grown a lot more in my faith this year, but I definitely have so much more growing to do, and I'm really excited about it, to be honest. And I feel like next year I will grow a lot more because I've had some opportunities come up that will help me grow my faith a lot more, and I'm really excited about those. If you guys know, during semester 1 and also during my high school years, I was like a junior leader at a church thing we ran on Friday afternoons for kids in primary school, and it was like a little youth group where we just play games, and I would just like help them out and do colouring in and just fun things like that. We would just have a lot of fun together, and I've been doing that for about 2.5 years. But at the start of this semester I did have to give that up because it did clash with my uni timetable, and honestly it has been really nice to have a break from that because I haven't had a break in 2.5 years. And although I love those kids so much and they all have my heart, it was really nice to just have a Friday night as a teenager. Sometimes it's just nice to have a Friday night. But at the same time, you know, I've had my semester off, and I'm so excited to get back into serving next year, probably in a different area, which will be really interesting. I just want to kind of see where I can work best and just see where I am most useful and things like that. So I'll probably kind of serve in a different area, but you guys will hear more about that next year. I'm just kind of prayerfully considering that at the moment and figuring out where God wants me to be and where I can be used to the best of my ability. And I'm kind of scared about that, to be honest. I'm really scared about that because it's taking a big step out of my comfort zone, but sometimes you got to do that, so I'll see how that goes. I also just have a couple of like miscellaneous things that I wanted to mention. Around about when I first moved home, or like somewhere around there, I purchased my G7X Mark II. Before then I had never had a vlogging camera before, and I really didn't know what I was missing out on until I bought this, and I'm so grateful that I invested the money to buy this camera because it has just changed the quality of my vlogs. It has changed my motivation. I'm so much more motivated to not only create vlogs, but create like good quality vlogs for you guys. And this camera was just such a great investment. I was so scared when I first bought it because I was like, do I really need it? And oh my goodness, I'm so glad I bought it. And kind of going along with that, I just feel like the quality of my videos has really improved this year, and I'm so glad it has, and I'm so excited to keep on improving it, because I think that even though you've improved something, it doesn't mean it's time to stop. I think there's always room for improvement, and I'm really excited about that. But I'm just so glad that I purchased this camera. I'm actually filming on it right now, so you know, like if you're looking for a camera and you don't want to get a big DSLR camera but you want to film like sit down videos, you can totally use a G7X Mark II. So I love it, and I'm so thankful that I bought it. And it's just a really random thing that's made a very big difference. Milo just looked in the mirror and got really scared at his own reflection. Overall, I'm just at a point now in my life where I'm just really comfortable and really happy and just like really content with how everything in my life is going. Nothing is going particularly bad, and that's like kind of insane. Everything in my life at the moment seems to be going okay. That does not mean that it has been going okay for the last 6 months, because it definitely has not. I have totally had some really difficult times in the past semester, and those took a lot to work through, but I'm so glad I worked through those things to get where I am now, because I am so content, and I'm so happy that I made the decisions that I made and not the decisions that people wanted me to make. So it's an interesting thing. I might possibly go into it more in another video, but yeah, I've definitely had some very difficult times in the last semester, but I'm at a good place now, and I know that that won't last forever, and I know that that probably won't even last a long time, but that's okay, because right now things are good, and when things start going bad again, we'll just work through them again, and we'll get to a place of contentment again. Life is definitely a roller coaster, but I'm figuring it out every step of the way, and I'm honestly so excited to see where I will be 6 months from now, because I think there will be quite a few big differences. But I think that's everything I had to say. If you guys have any more questions or things you want to ask me, leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do that, and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Thank you for sticking to the end of this video if you did, because I'm genuinely shocked, because this was a very long video. But I'm so thankful for you guys, and I'm so incredibly blessed to live the life that I live, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video very soon. Goodbye.